What is up, guys? Ben Allen back again with another video, and today we're going to be talking about how many years you have to serve in the military once you sign that contract. But without further ado, let's get to it. Alright guys, so like I said, we're going to be talking about how many years you have to serve once you sign a contract to join the military, right? So I'm going to speak primarily towards the Army because that's the branch I was in, but the way it worked was pretty much you're going to do a total of 8 years, right? But you're not going to spend 8 years on active duty, right? Because the Army, for the most part, I believe, have 2-year, 3-year, 4-year, 5-year, even 6-year contracts that you can sign up for, right? Like, I didn't know 2-year contracts were a thing when I enlisted because mine was a 4-year contract for 68 Whiskey Combat Medic. But we had this one soldier come into my platoon and she was like, yeah, I have a 2-year contract. I was like, really? Like, they do that? So it is possible to get a 2-year contract, guys, and had I known that back when I was enlisting, I think I would have much rather have gotten the 2-year contract because I could have spent those 2 years in the military, see if I like it or not, and if I didn't, I could get out, and if I did, I could re-enlist and go to a new duty station if I didn't like the first duty station I was at. 2-year contracts are highly slept on, guys. If you have the chance to get a 2-year contract, I highly recommend to do so. But again, like I was saying about the 8 years, right? So say you do spend 2 years active duty, right? And you decide military is not for you, you want to get out, cool, right? So you get out. You're still technically in for another 6 years, but not active duty, right? You're going to be in the IIR, right? And that's the inactive reserves, right? Or inactive ready reserves or individual ready reserves, right? But the IRR, guys. And pretty much what that is you're not in the reserves of the National Guard, you're not active duty, and you're not getting paid. But for those next 6 years that you didn't, that you have to serve in the IR, you can be called back in like at any time should they need you. If there's like a conflict going on or something pops off and they need you, and they can call you back into active duty service. So that's what it means whenever on your contract it says like you're signing for an 8-year contract or things like that, right? So it'll even tell you for the most part, like I believe in my contract, it said a service member has signed for a total of 3 years, 11 months active duty time, right? Or it'll say like 36 months and or 42 months, things like that. It'll say that like total active duty time, and we'll spend, like the rest of the contract, so like 4 years and some change, in the IIR. And it'll tell you that. And another thing to look out for when they're telling you about how many years you're going to be served is that it is in your contract, right? You don't want to go up to MEPS and when you're signing, see that they promised me a signing bonus, but I don't see it in the contract. Like, oh no, you'll get it. Or, hey, they promised me like a 2-year contract, and then you see it says like maybe 3 or 4. Make sure your paperwork is right, guys, because say you get promised a bonus and you get to your first duty station and you want to cash it in pretty much at the personnel office, right, or at S1, and they're like, yeah, that's not in your contract. It's like, oh, but the recruiter promised me if I did a 6-year contract I'd get like a $40,000 bonus. Don't go off of what the recruiters tell you most of the time. Make sure it is in your paperwork, guys. Paperwork is probably one of the most important things in the military, guys. If that's squared away, then you'll be squared away. And you really don't want to have to go back and forth and well, they told me this, because they're not going to care what your recruiter told you. Unless it is in that paperwork, it's not true. They lied to you and they suckered you into joining the military, right? So be very cognizant of what you're signing and what's in your contract and what is guaranteed to you, and make sure what they tell you correlates to your contract, right? But again, guys, just to recap this video, the amount of years you have to serve in the military, right, it varies, right, on what you want to do and depending on the job that you're going to get. So again, there's some 2-year contracts, right? I know the girl that had it in my platoon, she was a medic, so she had a 2-year contract. I know most combat MOSs usually start off with 3 years, like 3.5-year contracts around there. Some combat arms jobs, like my buddy, he was a scout. Most of his friends had 3-year contracts, and he signed a 6-year contract. So, yeah, you can see, where that's not lining up. I feel bad for him. Doing 6 years on his first enlistment, that's crazy. But yeah, and then you have 4-year contracts, right? Like the one I signed, because I was like, you know what, 4 years, that's good. I think I'll do that, right? And then, like I said, there's some 6 years and there's some 4 years. It just depends on the job and like what's available at the time. So could vary, but if you're dead set on a certain year contract, wait for it. Don't settle. Don't choose something else. Wait for that job or that length of contract that you want to serve pop up. Don't rush into things. Don't settle, and you'll be better off for it. And another thing, guys, so say you're doing it just for the benefits, right? You're joining the military for the benefits. In order to get 100% of the GI Bill, you need to serve at least 36 months, right? So 3 years. If you don't serve 3 years, anything below that is going to be broken up into percentages of how much of the GI Bill you're actually going to get. So if you like serve like 2.5 years, it's going to be like maybe 80% of the GI Bill, not 100%. So you have to serve more than 3 years to get 100% of the GI Bill. I just thought I'd throw that in there for a little tidbit of extra information, you know. But yeah, guys, I hope this video helped you out, right? If you want to learn more about some of the incentives, like bonuses and different options that you can get on your contract, let me know down in the comment section below, and I'd be more than happy to make a video for you guys covering those topics and exactly what you want to know. But guys, thank you for tuning in. I really appreciate it. If you want to reach me, you can do so at my Instagram, right? My username is going to be at Ben_Allen175. It's the best possible place to reach me, guys. I answer all my DMs. No message or no question goes left unanswered. I'm on my shit on there, guys, so be sure to check me out, right? I post some decent content, and you know, maybe you'll laugh every once in a while. And again, guys, thank you for tuning in. I really appreciate it. I'll see you on the next one. Later.